All right, here we go. Can Mike Perry manage to avoid the cone? Mike Perry, yes he can. Here we go, Mike Perry off the line, flicking it in. Josh, what is he doing? Josh forgetting that he's got brakes on that car, going right into the side of Mike Perry. But Mike Perry, props to him for staying in it. Mike Perry holding out. I think he gets the win just for staying in that run. A massive hit from Josh Wiens. I don't know what he's doing. Josh Wiens forgetting he's got brakes on that G35, going hot into the side of Mike Perry. These guys, though, looks like they got proper drift drivers, and I think Josh Wiens is trying to call a 5, if I'm looking at his pits right. All right, so if I'm correct, judges, Josh Wiens, I think, is trying to call a 5-minute timeout. All right, we are, I think, all right, we have a 5-minute timeout. So with that, Josh Wiens, the judges have determined Josh Wiens at fault. So he will do his 5 minutes. Mike Perry. Hey, one of you on the wall that's part of driving and not driving anymore, can you, Simon Harrison, can you run the 5-minute timer for us? We found someone. All right, so that is Josh Wiens calling a 5-minute timeout because of his contact. He's going to want to check out his front end there. All right, so the judges are just quickly talking with people in the pits here, making sure that we're not, no one's getting any extra time to check out their cars. And then we are gonna run our next battle. We have Hans versus Tino. That is Hans in this beautiful Corvette with a sick chrome livery against Tino in this very elegant, you could say, pink GT86. Okay, we have drivers at the line. All right, here we go. We have the lights on, which means they're going to extinguish and these drivers are going to get going. Hans to lead out. Tino. Hans in this beautiful Corvette, managing to miss all the cones, Good stuff, Hans. Here we go, beautifully into this first outside zone. Staying all the way out there, getting that cone. Really good start of the run for Hans. Tino doing everything he can to stay with him and not doing a bad job at it either. Just keeping it clean. Hans though, my goodness. Hans, where was this in your qualifying? Beautiful. Beautiful lead run from Mr. Hans Loos. And Tino doing a great job in the chase. Unfortunately though, looking like he potentially straightened up a little bit. Let's see what the replay says. Hans doing a great job exiting the course, but Tino very close, very close. The judges have kind of, it seems like, made up their mind on that call, and now we are on to run number 2 of this top 16 battle. Tino will now be leading out Hans. Let's see what he can do. Tino with less horsepower. Can Hans tame himself in the chase and keep it off of Tino's door, but keep it close? Let's see what they do. Tino great through outside zone 1 and 2, but Tino screwing up and missing that inside clip 1, unfortunately, but great through outside zone 2 and inside zone 2. So unfortunately, I think this battle is going to come down to that bobble coming in through inside clip 1. Tino, though, doing a great job everywhere else on track, and Hans staying right there with him, managing to tame himself enough to not overtake. And this GT86, great battle from both these drivers. And with that, Hans Loos. That is Hans Loos taking the win in the Corvette. Great job, Hans, in your top 16 battle. Tino also doing a great job here. Unfortunately, getting knocked out early on, but unfortunately, we are getting a little bit of sprinkles here down on the racetrack. Hopefully that is just, it looks like just a quick cloud passing over by. Yep. We have 2.5 minutes left on the Jansen pit team here. Check out Ween's Electric G35. Here we go though, next battle, Jordan Herwig versus Mike Randall. Jordan leading out Mike. Jordan in this beautiful, he just got a new livery down on this BMW. It looks great. Let's see what he can do, flicking it out to this first outside zone 1. Very tame entry from Jordan, allowing Mike to stay right there with him. Mike doing a great job in the chase here. Oh, Jordan going too hard. 2 tires off in that second outside zone, and then hit the inside clip 2 green. So again, I will go over 1 tire off in an outside zone is a demerit. 2 tires off is a big demerit. 3 tires off is a 0. So Jordan, as far as I could tell, did not go 3 tires off, but definitely went 2 tires off. Really good chase from Mike Randall though. Big shout out. Mike Randall, still a newer driver, but doing a great job adapting to this LS 350Z beast of a car. Let's see what Mike can do coming into the lead though. Doing a great chase. Can Mike keep up that energy coming into his lead and put on a 100-point qualifier? Here we go. Mike leading out. Clean start. I think, yes, clean start for both these guys. Mike right into that. Oh, Mike a little shallow actually, missing outside zone 1. Jordan filling all of it though, which led to him losing a bit of line. Jordan going off in the exact same place he did last time, and unfortunately, I think this was 3 tires off this time for Jordan Herwig. We will see what the judges have to say, but Jordan seeming to run into the same problem both laps here, just going a little too wide coming into the outside zone 2. But again, great Great chase from Mike Randall and a really good lead. Leaving outside, just having a little bit of trouble in outside zone 1. But besides that, a really good lead from Mike Randall here in this Copper 350Z. All right, with that, Mike Randall getting the win. Gridlock Drift moving on to the top 8. That is Mike Randall of Gridlock Drift moving into the top 8. Big win. The Americans having a really good time, or really good success down here. We have Josh Weens pulling out onto track. Seems like he was able to get it going in the 5-minute timer. So now we have Josh Weens of the Weens Electric G35, the Weens Electric Jansen Racing G35 out to lead Mike Perry. Mike Perry on track. Hey, that is not allowed. Josh Weens, you are disqualified. Unfortunately, Josh Weens, you are disqualified. You are not allowed to work on the car out of the pit. The judges caught you. Alrighty, so this is a bye run for Mike Perry. Josh Weens, not sure if he knows, but he is disqualified. Unfortunately, the 5-minute timer is a 5-minute timer for a reason, and you are not allowed to touch the car afterwards. Josh Weens, unfortunate way to end the day for him. He was looking really strong right here today, but just a little too excited coming into his first run, and got some contact there, and yeah, that is drifting, unfortunately. It's got high ups and it's got some real low downs, you could say. All right, but with that, we have Mike Perry moving on to our top 8, getting a little bye run here in the top 16 for his second run. Let's see what he can do. Let's yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and let's listen to Mike Perry. And with that, Mike Perry moving on to our top 8. All right, so with that, that concludes our top 16, and we are going to be moving immediately into our top 8, which means Dakota Jansen, we are looking for you. Dakota Jansen, where are you? All right, we have Dakota Jansen versus Dan Grin of Jack's Tires. All right, we have ready from the judges. Let's get these guys. This is our first battle of the top 8. Dakota Jansen leading out Dan Grin. This is Jansen Racing Team. I'd like to give a bunch of big shout out to all the moms for letting us go drifting on Mother's Day. And even more on top of that, Mama Jansen here on Mother's Day at the racetrack, supporting the crew. Love to see it. This is a family event, or a family affair, you may say. All right, we have Dakota Jansen of Helmy's Gourmet Food Jansen Racing Team E46 leading out. Jack's Tires, a G35, driven by Dan Grin. This is Dakota's full race car versus Dan Grin's daily driver. Let's see what they can do. A definite horsepower advantage as Dakota drag races off that start line, trying to lead behind Dan, but Dan very strategically cutting a bit of line to try and keep up or catch up to Dakota. Dakota making and hitting all his zones that he needs to, though. Just a touch wide, maybe, if you want to scrutinize on that second inside clip, but otherwise a really strong lead run from Dakota Jansen in that Helmy's E46. Dan Grin, though, for the horsepower disadvantage he has, doing a really good job keeping up with Dakota in the chase run. Let's see what they can do. We have already seen what happens when high horsepower guys line up against low horsepower guys, so let's see if Dakota can kind of tame himself a bit and not get into Dan. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Dan Grin leading out Dakota Jansen. Great initiation from both these drivers. Dakota absolutely glued to Dan in that first outside zone. Dan transitioning really well though, coming into the second outside zone, but Dakota just not giving him any room. Dan going way off course, sweeping the grass at the end and cutting way too inside. Dan, unfortunately, will be given an unchaseable lead run coming out of that exit. So with that, Dakota Jansen of Jansen Racing, Helmy's Gourmet Food, gets the win, moving himself onto the top four. Dan Grin, though, putting on a show, a really good lead run from Dan besides the very end there. Really good, putting the car exactly where it needs to be when it needed to be there. Alrighty, we are moving into our next battle of the top 8. We have Tanner Emery, the higher qualifier, I'm going to assume leading out. Oh, nope. We have Mike Stokeman to lead out Tanner Emery of Gridlock Drift. We just want to thank all our fellow American drivers coming up from below the border. We do not bite up here in Canada, contrary to what both of our news outlets like to say to each other. We all actually love each other, so let's keep that attitude up. All right, so again, we have the Stokeman, Mr. Mike Stokeman, out to lead the crown jewel of Washington State, Tanner Emery. All right, Mike Stokeman not hitting a cone. Good stuff. Clean start. Mike trying to run away from Tanner, but Tanner not letting it happen. Really having to cut his angle to keep up. A great transition from Tanner. Trying his best to stay right with Mike Stokeman through this whole run. Tanner having to count outside zone 2 to stay with him, but great run. Really aggressive from both these drivers. Tanner doing the most to stay with Mike. Great job. Really good first battle from both these drivers. I'm excited to see them swap positions. No, my pop. Thank you, Anthony. All right, just a little track cleanup. Some goofball up here in the tower dropped the Dr. Pepper. Okay, we have a run number 2 between Tanner Emery and Mike Stokeman. Swapping it up. Let's see what Mike can do in the lead. Or sorry, what Tanner can do in the lead. Tanner flicking it in. Great initiation by both these drivers. Tanner staying right out to outside zone 1, doing a great job. But Mike, just like Tanner, not giving him any space in the chase. Staying glued right to him. Tanner great into outside zone 2. But Mike really lighting them up. Stick with him. So we have entered the classic debate when it comes into drifting, when it comes to basically Mike Stokeman being a little farther back. Oh wait till they stop driving. Mike being a little farther back in the chase from Tanner, but doing a better job matching the line and angle of Tanner. Tanner being really tight on proximity to Mike, but having to cut line and angle to stay with him. What will the judges decide? We will know in a minute. Darren, big shout out, good luck. Good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. I don't have a bias, I'm just chanting, good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck. But yeah, great battle from both these drivers. But again, the classic debate when it comes to drifting, proximity or matching line and angle. Mike matching the line and angle, in my opinion, better in the chase, but Tanner better with proximity. Both lead runs, I'd say, looking very similar. Both guys hitting all the zones they needed to, filling the zones and putting the cars where they need to be when it comes to inside clips. So the judges talking a lot when it comes to this battle, showing how close it really was between these two drivers. Mike, you got an LS in there? Mike with an LS, Tanner with the M52, I'm assuming. When it comes to style points, I'll say Mike gets at least an extra couple over Tanner. I really like the blue. Very nice. Darren, are you doing open drift after? And with that, Mike Stokeman taking the win. So the judges leaning more towards a matching of line and angle. If I'm correct, if I can get some clarity, judges, what gave Mike Stokeman the advantage on that battle? So with that, lead for lead, they said very close. But I got one judge saying a gangster entry for Mike Stokeman, but then when it comes to the chase, Tanner punting the inside clip with his nose, the nose of his car was a determining factor when it came to that battle. So just something for Tanner to think about next time, but great battle from Tanner, really good driving actually, doing the most with the least, sticking as well as he can to Mike Stokeman in that LS E36. Oh, say can you see? All right, here we go. Next battle of our top 8, we have Alex Steins versus Mike Perry. Two blue BMWs, one an E36, one an E46. Who will come out on top? Alex Steins to start this battle leading. Big flick from Alex into this initiation point. Great to outside zone 1. Mike Perry having to cut a little bit of line to stay with him, but doing a great job to stay in this battle. Alex hitting all the marks he needs to. Big bobble by Alex in the middle of outside zone 2, but finishing really strong. Alex looking like a rocket ship in that BMW today. Really fast exiting the course. But again, big bobble from Alex Steins in outside zone 2. Mike Perry doing what he needed to stay with him in the chase, but having to cut a little bit of line to do that. So again, the judges really looking for, really emphasizing the need of a chase driver to match the angle and I guess you could say location on track, or line is the right word. That's what I was looking for. The angle and line of the lead driver. If you're very close in proximity, but you're basically just driving, it doesn't actually look that cool. So here we go. Coming into run number 2, we have Mike Perry leading out Alex Steins. I'd say from the looks of it, very even going into run number 2. Clean start from both the drivers. Here goes Mike. Great initiation into outside zone 1, having to pull a little handbrake, but sets himself up really well to finish that outside zone, and great through inside clip 1. Alex almost choking himself off. Mike, though, punting the clip. Alex getting right up there. Great chase for Alex Stein. Wow. Alex glued to Mike's door through the end of that track. Really strong finish, but Mike, unfortunately, clipping that outside zone 2 clip or cone entering the zone. So a little deep is what that would indicate. But really strong battle from both these drivers. Very fun battle to watch. All right, and with that, Alex Stein's taking the win. The judges not very clear on that up here. Very quick call with not letting people know too much, but they're not listening to me, so it doesn't matter. So again, with that, that was Alex Steins getting the win, moving on to the top 4. Okay, and with that, we have our last battle of the top 8. Mike Randall and Hans Loos, or Loos. Can I get a clarification from the Gridlock Drift team? Is it Hans Loos or Hans Loos? No confirmation. I'm going with Loos because it sounds more German. All right. So Hans Loos in this beautiful Corvette leading out Mike Randall. Again, 2 American drivers coming up from the border to experience beautiful British Columbia and the amazing track that is Agassiz Speedway. Let's see how they do. Run number 1, the last battle of our top 8. Hans Loos flicking it in great for that outside zone 1, filling it really well in that Corvette. Mike Randall having to check up, just keep up with Hans. Oh, Hans though! Oh, great save by Mike Randall. Hans taking himself out, just overcooking it into outside zone 2, but there is a chance, if I saw correctly in this first outside zone 1, of Mike potentially straightening out himself. So what it looks like is Mike not zeroing out in the lead, in the chase. Very close with his bobble, but no zero for Mike. But having a lead over Hans. Unfortunately, Hans just overcooking it coming into outside zone 2. Forgetting that there is he has the ability to decel a little bit before going into that outside zone. But here we go, Hans, he's going to want to be aggressive. Mike Randall in the lead, knowing he's got a big advantage. Hans, he wants it. He's not letting Mike get this win without fighting for it. Absolutely glued to Mike's door. Hans, I don't know how he did it in Mike on that transition. Really good job from Hans Loos. Man, that was probably the most aggressive transition I've seen all day, from inside clip 1 to outside zone 2. Great job. Let's hear it for both these drivers, Mike Randall and Hans Loos. All right, and Mike Randall taking the win. Mike Randall in the copper 350Z. Hans Loos, thank you for hanging out, or Hansing out, I don't know. Hans, great driving, just unfortunately overcooking it coming into that second outside zone. All right, and with that, we have our top 4 ripping right away. Dakota Jansen versus Mike Stokeman, the Stokeman. Alrighty, so we have both competitors at the line and the judges say they are ready. With that, we have the Jansen Racing Helmy's Gourmet Food E46 driven by Dakota Jansen versus the Stokeman himself, Mike Stokeman. Let's see what they can do. Dakota makes the flag into this first outside zone, holding his car way out there. Mike goes stand right with him. Right, both of them through this first inside clip. How did they do? Filling all of outside zone 2. Dakota putting down another great lead run here in this LSE46. Great lead run from Dakota Jansen, but Mike Stokeman not giving him really any room. Managing to be the first guy to stay with Dakota off the line there. Dakota's drag race strat off the line did not quite work against the Stokeman himself, Mike Stokeman. Again, that may be, or that shows the advantage of having a spotter. I don't know if Mike has one, but with a spotter, you'd be able to know that that's what Dakota's been doing all day. And that's okay, he's allowed to do that. It's just that if you don't know that, bye-bye, E46. So here we go. We have Mike Stokeman leading out. The Helmies, E46. Oh, Dakota with a gear shift or missing a gear or something, not sure. Mike Stokeman though putting on a perfect lead run. Dakota very impressively getting back into this battle. He's not going to be happy about the miss shift, but Mike Stokeman getting all the way out there. Dakota though. Dakota doing the most he can, doing a great job getting back into that battle, even with the miss shift. I'm assuming was a miss shift off the line. Real big bummer for Dakota as he's been absolutely on one today. He's going to be really upset if that's what takes him out. But great battle nonetheless between both these drivers. All right, two beautiful race cars. Again, Dakota Jansen of Helmy's Gourmet Food unfortunately gets knocked out by Mike Stokeman taking the win. Mike Stokeman in the blue E36 getting the win, moving himself on to the final. But Dakota, do not leave the racetrack because you have a third place battle. Dakota, you need to, or whoever is in Dakota's pits, tell him to turn around because he has his third place battle coming right up after the rankings of Mike Randall and Alex Steins. Where is Alex Steins? We are looking for Mr. Alex Steins. You are late to your battle. Alex, are you changing tires or are you sleeping? He is way in the back. Can we get any confirmation that Alex Steins is swapping tires? It's Steins and Randall. Yes, Alex won, but I think he's changing tires.
Keeps falling over.
Alrighty, so with that, we were just doing a quick tire change for Alex, and with that, Dakota, you are allowed a tire change too, so take your time, you don't have to rush. Actually, no, rush. Let's keep the show on the road.
Hey, this is Jared Deanda, the voice of Formula Drift, and we'd like to present to you the official Canadian Licensing Partner Series, Spec D and BCDA Drift Series.
Speaking of though, I heard Riley and the D blew up the weapon bats and Ferrobies. Still waiting for them to come to the racetrack. Eventually one day. Actually, I heard that.
Alright, Drift fans, we'd like to welcome you to yet another year of the 2025 BCDA Grassroots Series. My name is Jordan Maynard, and I'd like to thank all the drivers and crew, track staff, media, production team, and last but not least, our very supportive sponsor system. Without these people, what we have going on here at Bold Connections Drift Alliance just wouldn't be possible. With that being said, thank you to our official tire sponsor for the series, Tino Tire Canada, and our other supporting sponsors, Buckleup Racing, Ryan Baginski Real Estate, Lordco Auto Parts, RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire Chilliwack, Kinetic Signs Chilliwack, Fish Racing, and 110 Hobbies. All these amazing companies coming together to provide a remarkable season with over 10,000 in prizes for the drivers. Without them, this just wouldn't be possible. Thank you from the entire BCDA team, and enjoy this round of the Bold Connections Drift Alliance Grassroots Series at Agassiz.
Not quite sure what's going on. Classic Mike Randall and Gridlock Drift Team causing a gridlock on the track. These Americans sure know how to cause traffic. Alright, so here we go. Our pause is over. We have our last battle of the top four, aka our semifinals. We have Alex Steins, who will be leading out Mike Randall. Alex, because of how it works here, which I guess I could have or should have explained earlier, if you qualify higher, or you are the higher qualifier when it comes to the battle, you always will end up leading the first run. So again, Alex being the higher qualifier, he is the one leading this run. Alright, so up at the line, Alex Steins of Hard Knock Stunts Dark Lotus Drift Team. Set to lead Mike Randall of Gridlock Drift. Mike, putting on an absolute show today. Doing a great job. If I can be correct, I think this is the farthest Mike's moved in on a competition, so he's doing a great job. Moved on in a comp. But here we go, Alex Stein. He's got to move his way through the master that is the Stein man. Here we go, Alex absolutely repainting the outside line of outside zone 1. Doing a great job. Mike doing everything he can to stick up or stay with the super gripped up car of Alex Steins. Alex, an absolute rocket ship in that E46. Mike Randall doing everything he can to stick with him, which is not an easy feat. So we are going to run it back for our last run of the top 4 here. Mike Randall will now be leading out Alex Steins of Dark Lotus Drift Team. Gridlock. All right, here we go. Mike Randall, former bike master, now behind 4 wheels instead of 2. Let's see what he can do. Mike tipping it into the first outside zone. Doing a great job, a little bit of a handbrake pull, which puts him a little shallow, but Alex Stein's doing what he can, staying right with Mike through these first inside clip. Oh, Mike going too hard into outside zone 2, dropping 2 tires on that outside zone. Unfortunately, finishing off really strong, but Mike shaking his head is bummed out about going a little too wide. He knows he went a little too wide in that car. And again, drifting is really hard to stay positive when you are in competition because there's just so much to scrutinize, even when you do a really sick run. So, both these drivers, we have Alex Steins taking the win. Moving on to the finals is Alex Steins. He will be facing Mike Stokeman. And next up, Mike Randall, stay on track. You are going to be running your top 3. Mike Randall, stay on the track unless you want tires. If you want to get tires, you are allowed to. Oh, Mike, stop here. Darren, can you check if Mike is good to run his next battle, or does he want tires? We're getting a thumbs up, all right? So, Mike Randall, pull up to the line. You are against the pierogi man, Dakota Jansen. All right, Dakota coming in with a strong finish no matter what happens here. A really strong event for Dakota, getting #1 qualifier. Bummed he can't make it the perfect event, I'm sure, but that is why we have multiple rounds. I am sure we will see him in the next one. But these guys, we are just figuring out, not sure exactly what's happening here. Both drivers, Mike Randall and Dakota Jansen, warming up their tires for this third place battle. That is Gridlock making it into top 4. Big shout out. All right, Dakota absolutely annihilating everyone's eardrums on that warm up. That thing sounds sick. It is very aggressive. All right, Jansen Racing trying to make their way back onto the box. Mike Randall trying to make his way onto the box for the first time. Let's see what they can do here. This is the top 3 battle of the BCDA Grassroots Series. Let's see what they can do. Dakota Jansen to lead Here he goes. Can we get a clean start yet? Oh, Dakota hitting a cone. No one saw it though, so we are still running. Here we go. Dakota Jansen. First outside zone. Mike Randall doing everything he can to keep up to the rocket ship of Dakota Jansen. Here we go. That's a clean run. All right, well, Dakota getting away with one. He got lucky. He just kissed the cone off the line, but didn't move it enough to zero out. So here we go. Dakota now to chase Mike Randall. Mike's got a battle in front of him. He's really got to run away. Mike looping it. Great save from both these drivers to not write off their cars. Mike, knowing he had to do a lot on that open, that initiation. Dakota, though, with a really good save. He's going to be happy about that. And with that, we are going to wait till the finals is over to announce the winner of that battle. Mike, if you want to park on the wall, or I think Mike already kind of knows, unfortunately. But again, great save from both the drivers. Mike doing a very good job avoiding that collision after knowing he spun, getting out of the way as fast as possible. Dakota, really good on accident avoidance. Alex Stein's almost putting his car into the wall in the burnout box. It is absolute mayhem out here, people. Hey, we have Riley Jansen of Jansen's Free Media House crossing the track. We love our free media clips from Riley Jansen. Look at this guy getting in a sniper position, trying to hide. I see you, Riley. This guy, I didn't even notice it was Riley, actually. I thought it was someone else. This guy's been sunburnt 18 times over again, out golfing his life away here. Does this guy even work? What's going on? All right, here we go. This is the first run of our finals. Alex Stein's leading out Mike Stokeman. Alex with a great start. Fantastic initiation, putting himself exactly where he needs to be in that first outside zone. Mike Stokeman, though, doing everything he needs in the chase, going a little wide into outside zone 2, but saving it really well. Alex just putting on a clinic in the lead run. Maybe not much X factor when it comes to Alex's lead run. A very calculated approach. So it may not look like the craziest run, but if you look closely, he is hitting every mark he needs to hit. Just judges think I don't know anything about drifting and assumed I didn't realize there's no X factor points in tandem driving, but on top of that, the judges still want to see an X factor from the lead driver. This is more what I was talking about. Here we go. We have potentially the last battle of the day. Mike Stokeman leading out Alex Steins. Mike taking off from Alex in the start, but Alex knowing he can catch up, maybe just pacing himself. Here we go. Mike great through first outside zone. Great through inner clip. Alex, though, closing the gap, putting it absolutely on his door for the second outside zone and through the last inside clip. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a strong finish from both our competitors. Alex, very happy with that. Mike Stokeman and Alex Steins, let's hear for him. Dakota, bring your car around to the front as well. We have our three 1, 2, and 3. Do we know the order? No, we do not. But we do have our 3. Where's Mike? Where'd Mike Randall go? Come on out! Even though you, yeah, bring your car. Come on. Okay, so with that, we have our 1, 2, 3, and 4 pulling up to the start here. I would like to once again thank you to thank these sponsors of our series. We have Lordco Auto Parts, Zestino Tires, Augmented Racing, Ryan Bognowski Realty, RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire, Chilliwack, also Shelby Moreau, one of our drivers, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass, Still Real Productions, Kinetic Signs, and Fish Tech Racing. We would also like to thank Agassiz Speedway for hosting and being great hosts of that too. Always listening to what we need and doing what they can to provide us the best possible environment to drift and have fun. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in no order. Alex Steins, Mike Stokeman, Dakota Jansen, and Mike Randall. Woo! This was a really good competition. Mike, you got any sponsors? Mike is sponsored by his lovely family. We have Alex Stein's Dark Lotus Drift Team and Hard Knocks Stunts. Dakota Jansen of Jansen Racing and Helmy's Gourmet Food. Alrighty, thank you again everyone for coming out and watching our BCDA Grassroots series presented by BCDA and Still Real Productions, putting on the live stream, the great live stream we have. Still, obviously, there's always going to be a couple things here and there, but we are figuring out that's just part of the growing pains. So we are getting there and setting up a really strong production team. We want to thank all the track staff, media, all the guys out volunteering. We appreciate you guys for putting your time in for your friends and potentially family being out here today. We want to thank all the drivers for coming out. You guys put on an absolute show today. It was very fun to watch from up here. I would say I have the best seats in the house. Okay. So. Alrighty, so we have our position. So we are going to start off with actually a new, I guess you could say, trophy or kind of an MVP award for basically people running a gangster line who put on the kind of what you could say the biggest X factor of the day, and that would be considered our Smokey Award, and that goes to Mike, the Stokeman. That is $500 from Ryan of Buckleup Realty. Big shout out, Mike the Stokeman, getting an absolute sweet little prize award for throwing an absolute gangster line. I don't know if you guys missed it, but those two lines on that cement block out there for Mike's rear bumper. So didn't affect his line at all. It was perfect. But with that, what we care about the most, we are going to talk about our final position. So, in fourth place, we have Mike Randall from Gridlock Drift showing out, doing a great job competing in this LS-powered 350Z. Again, that is Mike Randall of Gridlock Drift. And with that, in third place of Jansen Racing, Dakota Jansen, doing an absolutely fantastic job in that LS-powered E46. Dakota, unfortunately, taking himself out in his semifinal battle. I know he's going to be bummed about that, but P1 qualifier, he wanted that number one finish, and he's going to be back next round to do that. Okay, but the most important part of the day comes to our final battle between Mike Stokeman and Alex Stein. The winner in a blue BMW, Alex Steins of Dark Lotus Drift Team and Hard Knocks Stunts. That is Alex Steins taking the win. And with that, that means Mike Stokeman, sponsored by his family, and a big smile. Mike Stokeman getting second place in the blue E36. I just want to thank again all our sponsors here today. Wardco Auto Parts, Zestino Tires, Augmented Racing, Ryan Bukinski, Realty, RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire, 110 Hobbies, Excel Auto Glass, Still Real Productions, Kinetic Signs, and last but not least, Fish Tech Racing. Again, just so people know, coming into the next round, that is a really sweet little trophy from Ryan Bukinski at Realty, a $500 prize for Mike Stokeman, throwing an absolutely heater of an entry, dragging that entry wall. Thank you to everyone for coming out to the BCDA Grassroots Round 1 competition here at Agassiz Speedway in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. And a big congratulations to our top four, Alex Steins, Mike Stokeman, Dakota Jansen, and Mike Randall. There will be, it is 2:48. I'm going to assume in about 15 minutes to 30 minutes, open drift is starting, and you guys are able to get back on track and party. So we will see everyone next time at round 2 of the BCDA Grassroots Series, which is on... I'm terrible and don't have the date on me, so I apologize with that. But be ready and be here for round 2. Okay, we are finding the date to let you guys know. But congratulations to these top 4 finishers of Alex Steins, Mike Stokeman, Dakota Jansen, and Mike Randall. That is Gridlock getting to the finish. I like it a lot. Just want to give a big appreciation to Jordan Maynard. Jordan Maynard putting in all his energy and effort to keep drifting alive here in Western Canada. And with that, round 2 at Agassiz Speedway is June 8th. I repeat, round 2 will be June 8th here at Agassiz Speedway in beautiful British Columbia. Thank you to everyone for coming out, and have a great rest of your night.
Alright, Drift fans, we'd like to welcome you to yet another year of the 2025 BCDA Grassroots Series. My name is Jordan Maynard, and we would like to take a moment to thank all the drivers and crew, track staff, media, production team, and last but not least, our very supportive sponsor system. Without these people, what we have going on here at Bold Connections Drift Alliance just wouldn't be possible. With that being said, thank you to our official tire sponsor for the series, Tino Tire Canada, and our other supporting sponsors, Augmented Racing, Ryan Boginski Real Estate, Lordco Auto Parts, RaceGear.ca, Fountain Tire Chilliwack, Kinetic Signs Chilliwack, Fish Racing, and 110 Hobbies. All these amazing companies coming together to provide a remarkable season with over 10,000 in prizes for the drivers. Without them, this just wouldn't be possible. Thank you from the entire BCD.
Well, you guys ready to check out some battle?